Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel for Reddit cheating stories like these. Without further ado, let's get started. Fiancé is cheating on me and I am heartbroken update. I found out over the weekend that my fiancé is very probably, almost 100% certain, cheating on me, and I have never felt more betrayed in my life. Totally saddened and disillusioned, to put it mildly. A condensed rendition of a lengthy story. She told me that she was going to a performance with a friend who had obtained an extra ticket and had asked her if she would like it if she did. I was overjoyed for her and encouraged her to take advantage of the opportunity. Bro, isn't that? A friend texted me later that night, referring to the previous night's events. Another patron at the same performance saw my fiancée and her female friend with two guys and alerted me to the situation. In one of the photographs, of which he provided 3, the guy has his arms around my fiancée, who is standing in the middle of the crowd. In another, they are kissing. Not even a friendly kiss from a colleague. It is clear that lip lock is completely absorbed in the issue. When I first saw them, I was on the verge of throwing up. It's obviously her since she's wearing the same clothing as she did in the previous photo. One of them was a fairly great close-up of her profile, and I recognized one of her pals from the other one. I'm not acquainted with the person in question. I didn't know what to do since I was in such a condition of shock and illness. I had only just walked out of the apartment and started walking. Following that, I reached out to a friend to ask if I might drop by. Sure, he responded. As soon as he saw me, he knew something was very wrong, and he sat me down in front of him, where I spilled everything. I sobbed during the whole thing. He was the best. He looked after me, got me drunk and euphoric, and the rest of the night was spent chit-chatting and drinking with me. His flat ended up becoming my temporary home for the night. I wake up to a dozen SMS from her. It's a Sunday, I'm exhausted, it's already after 10 a.m., and wonder what the hell I'm doing. No idea why I'm not answering right away. Is it true that I've been admitted to the hospital? She's utterly delusional, she says. I sent her an email with a picture of her kissing a guy, but she didn't reply to it. Then she starts calling and texting excessively, so I simply turn off the phone and walk away. I haven't been back to our apartment or talked to her since I left. I took her phone away from her. I'm not even able to make out what she's doing. I'm afraid of breaking into tears in front of her, which is something I really don't want to happen. We were planning to be married in April, and we were in the process of finalizing our plans. She seemed to be excited about the prospects for our future. It's completely gone now. A small number of individuals are aware of my predicament and are pulling for me. I've received word that she is doing all she can to contact me. She came up to my office on Monday morning, but I refused to allow her in since she was dressed inappropriately. I also leave down the alley since a colleague contacted me the day before to say she was waiting in her car outside the office, so I take that route. She will undoubtedly come up in conversation at some time, even if it is just to get out of the apartment and cancel the lease and everything else. But, oh my God, I'm screwed up. Thank you for providing this forum for me to vent my issues, which was annoying since I didn't want to cry over the phone or in front of her. When we were finally able to communicate, she began apologizing, sobbing, and pleading with me to return home. I'll spare you the rest of what was said since writing it down hurts. But to cut a long tale short, as I regained control, I asked her who the man was, what had been going on, and essentially told her she needed to tell me everything right now. So she informed me that her friend, with whom she went to the performance, and her boyfriend, with whom the friend went to the show, had introduced them when they were all out for drinks and supper in June. I was visiting family. It was a setup, she maintained. The man simply happened to be in the same place at the same time. He acquired her number from a buddy, she alleged, and began messaging her. Update. First, I was and continue to be amazed by the outpouring of support, as well as the amount of individuals who have had similar experiences. I wish I could respond to every one of you individually, but I hope this will enough. Thank you very much. My brother arrived yesterday and booked an Airbnb for the rest of the week, so I'm now living with him. He's fantastic, and I'm fortunate to have him here. As many of you have said, I am fortunate to have him, and my other wonderful family, as well as a wonderful group of friends. They've been fantastic. When things like these happen, you learn who you can rely on. So after a lengthy discussion with my brother, I spoke with my ex last night, and yes, she is an ex. He was present, but he allowed me some space. It was terrible, as you would guess, and much worse than I had anticipated, despite the fact that I had expected it to be poor. As soon as she answered, she began weeping, so I started crying as well. She claimed to have ignored him at first, but later responded and the two began messaging. She insisted on insisting she had no idea why she had done it. I hate having to write this. She went to his house for drinks and had with him. She said they'd had about a half dozen times, all at his house, after I practically forced her to tell me, but I'm not sure I believe her for reasons I don't want to discuss. I couldn't understand her since she was weeping the whole time, but she kept apologizing and saying she loved me and was sorry. I was actually fighting a want to vomit. I told her I had to get off the phone and then sat there feeling like I'd been kicked in the stomach. All of this was due to the fact that I couldn't breathe. Worst sensation I've ever had. I went on a solo stroll and just spaced out for a while, then came back and sat with my brother for a while and we spoke, and he just sat there embracing me tightly. I'm not sure what I would have done if he hadn't been there. So there you have it. Last night, I wrote her an email. I told her I'd be getting my things on Saturday with my brother and best buddy. I told her not to come. I informed her that I had previously spoken with the leasing firm. I'm getting out of my lease at the end of October, so I told her she could remain until then. Rent is already paid and I will get deposit back too, which is awesome. I told her to take care of any wedding details. I don't care if we put a deposit down on a reception place that we'll most likely lose. I told her I didn't want anything we had together, and she could keep everything. I informed her I didn't want to see or speak to her anymore. She responded this morning, but I haven't read it yet, and I don't intend to do so today. So that's where we are now. Thank you again to everyone who has been so helpful. It means a great deal to me. Story 2. Wife cheated. She is sad because she loved her affair partner. Getting a letter from his wife saying how much she misses her AP, with whom she spent the previous year, is the best New Year's gift a guy could ask for. When EA returned home to spend time with her family without me, she handed in her PA card. Initially, it started in August or September 2020, when her friend confided in her that she was experiencing marital difficulties. So his goal was to put our marriage in risk as well, and I must say that he was successful in his mission. Our relationship, as well as his, is in jeopardy. She states that they have such a strong emotional connection that she is unsure when their friendship changed into an EA. How about the moment you decided to play his therapist? The AP wife called me on September 26th of this year to inform me that our spouses were cheating on us and that they were having weekly calls. There was one video taken in our room while I was sleeping and another video taken in a dressing room when we had gone shopping, and she was trying on clothes. Apparently the AP enjoys making these risky/voyeuristic videos, and my wife was more than delighted to provide him with the necessary materials. After seeing a few of the films, I questioned her about it, which destroyed a lot of my favorite clothes of hers. You can guess what happened after that. She first denied everything, but when I gave her the evidence, she admitted everything. I threatened to leave, but she begged me to stay, and after much deliberation, I decided to give our marriage one more opportunity before ending it. Due to the fact that we have an 8-year-old daughter who is the apple of our eyes, we've made the decision to try once more to save our marriage. I just requested one thing of my wife, that she be completely honest with me. I was determined to find out the truth, no matter how horrifying or unpleasant it would be. That tactic, NGL, came back to bite me in the rear today. She was depressed today, so I probed as to why, and she by our agreement by giving me the truth. She was missing her advanced placement apt class. It was yet another stab in the back of the neck, but hey, I asked for it. And now I'm here, ringing in the new year with a Reddit post to commemorate the occasion. Even after something as traumatic as this, there must be some couples who have been able to reconcile.